Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel. This is just a part 2 to that relationship reading that I just posted. And I'm gonna actually do the format the way that I just immediately got off topic. I was like, I hope I don't get off topic, and then I just went on some long tangent and just forgot the format. But I want to do that again just for some clarification, and it might not be the longest reading. I just love relationship readings, and it just is fun, and it's like I'm not tuning into anything in my own life, so I'm living vicariously through whoever you are, viewer. But I can feel the energy. It's really there. It's really happening. So, okay, how you see them? You see them as maybe a little bit of a B word if you're a man, or if you're a woman, you see them as just, and this is the man that you're thinking of, you see them as just terse, a little harsh, a little bit, maybe they had some harsh words for you at one point, and so you're still recovering from that. So that's how you see them. How they see you. Ooh, okay, I think you did they would see you as a backstabber, or someone who really hurt them. Or also, please excuse this glare, I have to get my phone fixed, there's some weird issue. They would see you as someone who really took the wind out of their sails, but just hurt them, and that it's there's a finality, that it's over. Also with that finality, they feel they don't see you in the same way. They see you differently. They don't see how they used to, which I don't know what that means yet in the reading. So let's see how you see them. So your needs, you're trying to hold on to what you got in life. I think that you don't have a lot, or maybe you just don't. How am I trying to say this? This is about holding on to material items, or things that are survival based. Clutching those things that we need. And reversed, it can be negative because it's about not being able to let go. But in this reading, I just want to read it as your needs have to do with holding on to what you have financially, and just that security. Their needs have to do with they may be a genius person, or this relates to the side of Aquarius. They may be an extreme nonconformist. They may be someone who works with the community, but their needs are still, or not. It could be just the ideal of working with the community someday, but their needs have to do with sort of being emotionless and led by logic at this time in their life. And also just humanitarian goals and thought more than feeling. Current state. This is I wouldn't say this is fallen spirituality. The current state is that maybe neither person is too in touch with spirituality in the best way. Maybe there's been dipping in and out, but I feel both people need to sort of reassert their own connection with God. Just in general, I think that there's sort of a loss of feeling of hope that I'm feeling for both people. Disillusionment. It's almost like the relationship showed a glimpse of what a connection could be like, and then I'm feeling it didn't really come to fruition. So, or maybe there was a breakup here. So then it became after that, the experience of disillusionment in the world, and less being in touch with community, less feeling in touch with spirituality. Maybe you were each other's community, because the star card can be about community. And healing. I think the current state is that both people are doing some deep healing work. And then your hopes, you're hoping to come into the situation with your heart forward. which is how I like to try to be. And the thing about that is there may be some things in your heart that are like, you've got to get it off your chest, literally, and it's like hard for the other person to hear. But I feel like you're coming actually with compassion and care. That your hope is that you could be involved in this person's way, in their life, in a way that's like emotional and creative, and even perhaps like, sorry, I'm cracking my ear, like mothering, maybe becoming a mother to their children. Their hopes, oh, okay, they are just hoping to kind of move on from this because, you know, to be brutally honest, they feel like that's what you've chosen, that you don't want to continue with them. Things to keep in mind. I feel like there were other people involved maybe here. There was like maybe a group mind, but it was like negative. I feel like it was sort of like too many cooks in the kitchen, or like, you know, there may have just been an environment that was like combative that they were within. And then overall is the Hanged Man reversed. So I read that as coming out of suspension. So there may have been like recent contact after a long period of no contact. And let's get a contextualizing card for the inner thoughts and fears. And if it doesn't end on a major arcana, I choose until I get a major arcana. So contextualizing card for the reading, contextualizing thoughts for the... So the inner thoughts and fears were about this battle, or the things to keep in mind, sorry. I feel like both people are balancing things in their lives. Like maybe they have like constraints with finances, be it both people that are like very delicate and they're like trying to figure out how to get out of actually that situation. Yeah, Four of Wands. I feel like marriage is definitely a possibility here, and actually one person might be married and one person may have been coming from a marriage, or like even just a common law marriage, and it's like the stability of this relationship was like unforeseen. Like I think you found stability in each other's care. That's still not a major arcana though. This is the garden that's growing, and this person may be growing financially for you secretly, thinking that they, you know, that you could have a life together. And also the other, if one person, you know, maybe one person has money and one person doesn't, the person without money is probably desperately trying to figure out how they can get their life together so they can make this a reality. Because I feel like that's been an issue here, is money. I'm not sure why I'm feeling that. Yeah, Six of Cups, still not a major arcana. We'll wait till we get our major arcana. You know, you brought an innocence and a sweetness to this person's life. And when they think of you, it's like sort of nostalgia and like when times were easier. You may be also younger, maybe like an age gap here. But it's like a sort of like innocent romantic energy. Sorry, I'm just gonna look for a major arcana. Spirit, please end our reading. This is too much for me. I can't handle the suspense. Spirit, what's our final card? Ooh. Still not a major arcana. Ooh. The first major arcana I saw when I flipped the deck was the World. Yeah. Let me just tune in here. You are the world to this person. I think you don't think that they see that way, but like, you know, there's like sort of a pedestal, and also you could like see a whole new world together, kind of like the Aladdin song, A Whole New World. And also maybe you travel together. They also just like see you as someone very magical in the world. You know, like when they think of the world and all the components and the people, and they remember that you're in it, they're like, oh, cool. This came up before, but I didn't pick it. This person really wants to have like a family with you, where like the whole kit and caboodle, like, you know, the white picket fence. And I think maybe they are kind of a vagabond type and they've never had that stability. And so it feels maybe threatening, is what I'm getting. Or maybe you have that stability and you are wanting to offer it to this person. Right now it feels like a fantasy, but it also feels like there's a lot of options. I think you're thinking that this person's contending with other options, but I think actually all they see is you. And they're not really sleeping that well because they think about the situation and what happened. And they think about the past and what happened here. And like, you know, they worry about you, actually. I also feel deceived by you. Like, I feel like there was some sort of deception here, but I think the greater deception is that... What is the greater deception? I think both people were sort of wearing masks and acting more casual than it really was. Ooh, the devil. Yeah, okay. So this can mean commitment and marriage. Maybe this person wanted this with you, like, immediately, and it was like one person felt that on some level, that it was all or nothing. And that was, even if in their mind they were like, yes, I would love this, they were also terrified by that, and I think ran away. Because also, this keeps coming up in my readings, one person saw that to make this relationship happen, there would have to be like a breaking of ties, of like toxic ties, and also addictions. Maybe one person has like some serious addictions, and also just like negativity. Like maybe both people have some really toxic stuff they were actually trying to work out together through sort of the conflicts. I'm sorry, I do want one last card. This is a lot of final cards here. The Tower. It's not a good final card, but I'm gonna make our final card. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. That's not it. Sorry. The inner... I sometimes do that because if I say it's not it, it's because I'm not feeling any energy in my solar plexus when I look at the card. So that matters to me a lot. So there's maybe been like a shit show, can I say that? Like in both people's lives in different ways. But like the Tower, you know, after the Tower comes the Star card, which is spirituality and healing. So I think that this is actually leading to both people's inner contentment and inner joy. Whatever turmoil has happened is leading them each to see the the beauty of the space they created with each other, and how that is sort of like not a utopia but a resting place, you know. And so I know that was the end of that reading, but I just wanted to actually get one card of one message, that this person could say one thing to you today, right now, because I feel like there's blocked communication for some reason. What would they say? They would say that they're trying to get free from some burdens in their life, and also they feel really paused. They feel like they don't know what action they can take, and they feel like they shouldn't take an action. Final card from them. No, we already got that card. Final card from our person is, I keep getting the same cards. I'm just gonna shuffle one more time. Heartbreak. We did get this card before. I feel like, yeah, you really hurt their heart, because I think that they actually really love you, and loved you, but I think there was maybe some extenuating circumstances where that wasn't really appropriate to express or possible. But I think they would like to do that now. And I think that actually there will be an upcoming opportunity for both people to sort of, get over the hump of this situation and come together in partnership, in caring, loving partnership, where, I'm hearing this song, "Oh Baby, I Love Your Way," by Pete Frampton, which I love that song. I know it's so cheesy and corny of me, but it's actually a great song to play on acoustic. I'll probably cover it at some point, put it on here. It's just a great, stupid kind of song that everyone loves. And it's an anniversary song. And I think this person, more than any of the card messages, they do love your way. Which sounds silly because it's a stupid song lyric. But they love how you glide with the stuff of life. How you just kind of you just sort of roll with stuff. You're like, oh, this is happening. Okay, I'll figure it out, whatever. They like that about you. They're just roll with the punches. And you may have a detached view when things change in your life, and you're like, this sucks, but you're like, well, this is how it is now. And they think that's really cool. But also, they love your, the way you move, and your way of trying to work things out. Even if you're volatile, or you're having a bad day, or you're you're dysregulated, they still love that you are so you're so full of energy and emotion, and that they love that. And they also love that you push back and you try to set boundaries. They love that you dance to the beat of your own drummer. They love that you really are kind of a person who wears their heart on their sleeve. And they fear actually that being together, you would be too gentle for their sometimes intense behavior. They don't want to hurt you, because sometimes they're out of control with feelings or energy that really isn't about you, and you may be taken aback. And yeah, and the other message they want you to know, in terms of "Baby, I Love Your Way" is, oh, I want to be with you night and day. Ooh, baby, I love your way. I want to be with you night and day. Yeah, they are just bored without you. You make them laugh. You make everything more fun. And they seriously see this as a relationship where they think that you could do a bunch of stuff together and just not get sick of each other. They want to be with you night and day, and they love, in terms of your way, they also just love how you smile. They love how you try to be kind to people. They love how even if you're in a crummy mood, you try to give service to others. And I think that they actually see you in a really beautiful light, whether anything happens with this, and that's the main message for you to know.